the first match in the brand new Riot Duo Scrims on a Monday. Today's match starts off in Vikendi, and the slight difference with this match is that there is a most wanted player. Whoever manages to kill that player will gain an extra 4 points for their team. In today's matches, the most wanted player is Neo from the Xenotactic clan. And we all wait in anticipation as to whether he will be taken down, or if miraculously enough he will last until the very end of the match and get a win for himself. And here we go with the flight path starting off on the eastern side of the map, ending on the western side in between VR and Milner. We have Team 16 jumping first, made up of Juicy and Harley Quinn, going along with Team 22, which is Jen, Nick and Fitzy. We then have Team 24, Damo and Susan. Team 17, which is Welshie and Zen Thor. And we now wait in anticipation for Team 19 to go, which is made up of Zen Ryder and Zen Neo. And I think that is them right there, and it is just behind Teams 29 and 28, all heading north towards Villa, which is a very bold statement for Neo to make, going to such a hot drop when he is pretty much the hottest player, in the sense that everyone is coming after him. So it looks as though Neo is going to be dropping at Villa, along with Ryder. So let's stay with them as Team 28 follow suit with Jiggle and Criminal. And that is some very crafty play from Neo. And Zen Ryder is down, knocked by Jiggle, and that is Ryder gone. So Jiggle will know that Neo is presumably nearby. So now it is just a waiting game as to whether they will find him. So let's go to a bird's eye view for just a moment. As you see Jiggle and Criminal over at 195 as they now start moving through the houses. We have Neo just on the rooftop there. And Jiggle is coming back up the steps, going around the left-hand side from my perspective. And we have Criminal just down there at 170 looking through the buildings. And now we see Kermo knock Jen Raven. And that is Jen Raven taken down. So let's jump right over and have a quick look. And we now see Team 3, which is made up of Wobbly and Kermo from the Riot squad, going up against the now lone member of Team 26, Jen Temp, at the winery. And Jen Fitzy has taken down Harley Quinn on the left-hand side. And Harley is now being followed by Jen Fitzy, whilst Juicy runs in the opposite direction away from her. And is now preparing to fire back, with Fitzy moving to the left. And that is Fitzy knocked by Juicy. Nick is now going to try and get the revive. But that is Fitzy taken down by Juicy, who is now moving position himself, just to keep Nick on edge a little. And Deadpool has just taken down Criminal, and Jiggle has taken down Char, with Deadpool getting the kill on Criminal, and Alex from Salty Snakes taking down Jiggle. So let's go back to Neo quickly, and we still see that he is now left at Villa. Jiggle and Criminal left him there, and he's still not been found at all. He's staying prone. He is just outside of the zone, so when the zone starts to move in, he will have to make a move. So that could possibly see him being caught up with Zen Missy and Zen Venom. But we do have Team 29, Deathly Hallows, Bazza and Siren, who may start to push in, so they might be able to get involved there. Plus, what we need to consider is this. Because Ryder has been killed, if Zen Neo is knocked at all, that will be an instant kill. So that does make it a bit more tricky for any other teams to get involved. Because if you see Neo and you shoot at him, you're going to possibly be getting an instant kill. There is not going to be any knock. There is not going to be any opportunity to get a revive on. It's just you either go for it or you don't. And here we see our first zone of today. It's moved to the western side of the map, with Dobromesto near enough being the centre point. And now Char has knocked Riot Mystic. So let's go straight over to Team 21, who find themselves sandwiched in between Team 4 of Riot Ghost and Riot Mystic, and Team 14 of Deadpool and Vaka from Sons of Odin. And now smokes have been thrown, which has drawn Char's attention to them. And that then gives Mystic and Ghost the opportunity to get closer together so that a revive can be carried out. A great little bit of strategy there, and something that any team can do. It doesn't take any skill to use smokes. It just takes the confidence to throw them and just run with it. And I think that's something you can get with experience. When I first started playing this game, I never used smokes. I didn't feel confident enough to use them. I didn't really understand what they were going to be used for. I knew that, they would hide a view from somebody. But there is so much more to a smoke than that. They can be a distraction. They can be cover. They can be a scare tactic. They can be a weapon in themselves. And it just takes that courage to say, you know what, I've got smokes, let's give it a go. And only then will you be able to learn from your experiences. And that's all what this game is about, just having fun, but improving your own style of gameplay and finding where you do fit in a team. But now that Team 21 have just moved away slightly from the Riot team, if we have a look at the map at the moment, most of these teams are quite separate. The closest teams are, as we can see now, Team 21 and Team 4. Possibly teams 10, 26 and 30. And any minute now, Team 16 and 22. So let's just have a quick look. It looks as though Juicy has just passed Team 22, which is Gen Nick. He's just jumped out of his vehicle. So we may now be waiting for Nick just to push in as he comes over that hill. He's just over the ridge at the moment, so using the landscape to his advantage, just staying out of sight enough. But depending on what device he's using, he may just be able to see over that if he's using a tablet, for example. And here we go. So Juicy is preparing a grenade to be thrown right towards Nick. And let's have a quick... Oh, a very, very close call there for Gen Nick. Just manages to get out of the way of that grenade thrown by Juicy. He is being slightly damaged by the zone at the moment, and Nick may be thinking about what he needs to do here, because at the moment he's in the blue zone. So he's going to be keeping an eye on that, which is one part of his mind that's focused elsewhere. And the other half will need to be focused on, I know I have a player right in front of me. What do I do? Do I just hold ground and hope he pushes me before I have to push him? Or do I just start throwing shots? Do I throw grenades? What do I do? Or do I just try and run, which is what Nick appears to be doing at the moment. He's jumped at the back of the property. Juicy is now going left to try and catch up to Nick as he rotates round. He obviously has the car just up ahead, so he may now be trying to take Juicy's vehicle, which will be a disadvantage to him as he will then need to make his way in on foot. Juicy is now prone at the moment using a first aid kit. Gen Nick is behind the tree and the car. And is now starting to make a slight push in. Is behind the tree. We have Gen Nick behind the tree opposite. He does have that car still. And Zen Thor has just been taken down on the left-hand side. And that is Venom getting the kill on Thor there. And Welshie taking down Zen Missy with an Uzi. A brilliant little weapon due to its high fire rate. It's always a handy thing just to have if you don't have an AR to hand. A sniper and an Uzi on any map can be a brilliant combination to have. So as I mentioned just a moment ago, Nick has used the smokes to try and act as a diversion, but unfortunately it was Juicy. He just had that vantage point, he had that angle on Nick, in that the kill was not too difficult for him. So that is Gen Nick being taken down by Juicy there, who's now looting his box, will hopefully jump in the vehicle and make his way to zone. So let's leave him to it and return to the map. And let's revisit Neo at the moment. He is just moving away from Villa now. And if we just zoom in slightly, we have Zen Venom taken down Welshie of Deathly Hallows. And as we can see at the moment, the nearest team to him, with Riot Mystic taking down Zen Missy, is teams 29 of Deathly Hallows, Baza and Siren, Riot Mystic and Riot Ghost Team 4, Zen Missy and Venom of Team 8, and Damo and Susan Jacqueline of Team 24. Other than that, Neo has a fairly easy way in. There are not many teams outside. There is nobody really gatekeeping that zone line at the moment. So it might just be easier for him to just slide in, possibly go left a little, and try and head down the middle of the map between teams 10 and team 23. And there you see Dover Mesto with plenty of houses and compounds for him to hide in until the later stages of the game, whereby he might just be able to come out, get a few kills, and ultimately get the win. And I think because Zenio has lost his teammate in Zen Rider, he is going to have to play a very strategic game now it can't be too heavy-handed. It can't be all guns blazing. It has to be calm and collected. And here we go. Juicy is now driving right in towards Neo. So let's go to him for a moment. Just see what he just chooses to do. Juicy's driving in. And it looks as though it could be Neo against Juicy now. And Juicy has just jumped out. Is in the building there. Shinobi has just taken down Fuji on the left-hand side. We have Neo in the top window. We have Juicy in the buildings below. And although Neo has noticed Juicy, Juicy doesn't appear to have noticed Neo at the moment. So he could be walking into a very unfortunate trap if he continues pushing. Which he might possibly be doing at the moment. No. He has just got into his vehicle and walked away from a bonus 4 points. And Neo is firing, but it is to no prevail. And I think that is possibly the best advice there that Juicy has unwittingly given. In that with PUBG, never assume. If you go to a building and the doors are shut, never assume that that building's empty. Teams can hide inside, close the doors to make it look like it's empty. You walk in there, unbeknownst, and you get taken down like that in 2 seconds. You always need to think that you're going into a building, regardless of what the outside appearance looks like. Expect to go in to meet a full team there. I think the phrase "never judge a book by its cover" really does explain the way in which this game needs to be played, especially if you're intending to do competitive. You know, if you're wanting to do fun games, then I think you just need to forget all the competitive nature of it. Just go in there and have fun with it. Do what you want to do. Use it as an opportunity to explore different ways to play and find what is more comfortable for you. And I think the weapon choice also plays well with that, in that, you know, some people prefer snipers, some people prefer ARs, some people prefer pistols or melee weapons. You will only find that out if you try out the different guns that are available. And especially on PUBG, the training ground is a brilliant place to do that, as well as arcade games that you're not ranked in, because then you don't feel any kind of pressure to do well and you can just try new things. And as we can see at the moment, just over at north, we can see Deathly Hallows Siren. Neo is currently hiding in a bush. And Neo is armed with an Uzi and a VSS at the moment. He is going double 9mm. And for those of you who are new to the game, what I mean by double 9mm is 2 weapons that use 9mm ammo. That is the orange ammo on PUBG. Now the VSS is a silenced sniper rifle. It is very quick. But the one thing to keep in mind with a VSS is the drop on it. You need to really get a hang of the drop before being able to use this weapon as effectively as it can be used. And with the Uzi, it is a really fast rate weapon. So I think that's probably the weapon you would want if you need to rush in and you're face to face. Pull out an Uzi, start firing, and you will definitely get some knocks. Absolutely. Panda has just asked for a shout out for the lovely kitten. So that is no problem at all. Thanks, kitten, for watching. Happy to have you with us. And Neo has now changed to a bison. And we just had Team 24, Damo and Susan, just over towards the southern side, I believe. And Bazza has just taken down Shinobi and Shay with a grenade. Brilliant play from Bazza there, getting 2 grenade kills. And now Neo has 347 metres to go for the next zone. He's choosing to go on foot, which, although risky, I understand the logic. Most teams will want to get into zone quick. They want to find a position whereby they can be comfortable and wait for other teams to move in. But by Neo going in by foot, it will take him longer to do, but it is unlikely he will come into contact with any other teams on the way. But saying that, we do have Damo and Susan Jacqueline up on the right-hand side at 300. But there is a car. If Neo wants to be really crafty, he could take their Dacia. But is choosing to rotate left to try and avoid any contact with them. And it looks as though he may just be able to sneak past unnoticed. And Juicy has just knocked DH Bazza on the left-hand side. So Siren will now need to try and get to her teammate. And Susan, Jacqueline and Damo are just moving into zone. Neo is firing and almost gets knocked there. Is now using a first aid kit. So then Neo may be taken down by the zone. And yes, it looks as though that is it for Neo, as he gets taken down by the play zone. So the play zone gets 4 bonus points. And we are now with Peekaboo of Team 23. And if we now have another quick look at the zone, it's still moving west. And we still have the top half of Dobro Mesto in play at the moment, with another couple of small compounds around the outside. We have a fair few teams in the zone at the moment, with another, I think, 6 that still have to make their way in, with Riot Wobbly taking down Penn Cons. So let's jump over to Team 7, who find themselves coming up against Team 3. And here we go, guns are blazing. And that is Kermo that manages to take down Pen Devious. And a Wobbly gets the finish there. We now have Pen Cons coming up. Wobbly has been knocked. And that is Right Wobbly and Kermo taken down by Pen Cons with the revenge kills. And a Molly has now been thrown in by Riot Mystic. Unfortunately, it is in the wrong room. And the play zone has finished off Peekaboo. Riot Mystic comes in and gets Pen Cons with an MK14. And Damo knocks Char, and the play zone finishes Susan Jacqueline. And Alex from Salty Snakes gets the kill on Damo there. I Am Game is finished by the play zone. And at the moment, over at 320, we have Deadpool and Vaka from Sons of Odin going up against Exo Martian and Exo Queen. We have the Death Define UK team at 30 over at 275, made up of Savage and Gemma. And we have Riot Ghost, who's not, over at 65. We have Mystic, who has just taken down Juicy, who is behind a rock. And is now hoping to get the revive on Riot Ghost. And they will now need to start making their way in. And Exo Queen is being shot at by Team 14. With Martian behind the rock on the left-hand side, shooting towards Vaca. We have Deadpool in the smoke at the moment, with Queen now having killed and lying prone behind a rock, who is now up on her feet. And Queen is now throwing a couple of smokes just to act as a smoke barrier to let Martian move over slightly to the right, just to get a bit of rotation on Deadpool and Vaca. But they will now need to make their way into zone, and as it is one of the last zones in game 1 of today, it is going to hurt. And one thing that I always say is that the blue zone is not here to make friends. And there's Death-Defying Savage taking down Exo Martian. So they now find themselves sandwiched between Team 30 and Team 14. With a grenade just being thrown. Deadpool is knocked by Queen. Riot Mystic takes down Alex. And Chezak takes down Char. And Martian has now been revived momentarily, as Martian is now knocked by Gemma and is finished off there. And Queen is taken down by Sons of Odin Vaca. We now have Team 30 Death-Defying UK. We have Team 4 Riot, Team 25 Jen, and Team 14 Sons of Odin. And Jen Blocks is taken down by Riot Mystic up top towards the church. So we now have Jen Chezak, last standing member of Team 25, going up against Team number 4. So let's jump in there. So Chezak find themselves stuck behind the blue zone at the moment, and will need to make their way out to get back into zone, possibly out of the window on the left. And here we go, Chezak is now making a move. Possibly doesn't quite know the location of Team 4 at the moment, but it is far too late, and the blue zone will take another player, and that is Jen Chezak taken down. And here we have our top 3 of game number 1. We have Riot Mystic and Riot Ghost. We have Sons of Odin, Deadpool and Vaca with a great sniper shot from Mystic there, taking down Deadpool. And we have Team 30 Death-Defying UK. And that is Mystic taking another shot at Vaca and almost getting another kill there, sorry. And there it is. That is 2 kills for Riot Mystic, taking down the Sons of Odin team. So we now see Team 30 Death-Defying UK go up against Team 4 of Riot, with both teams currently in the zone. Mystic throwing smokes. And now the zone has changed for possibly the second to last time. And now Death-Defying will need to move in slightly. And that is Mystic getting a knock on Death-Defying Gemma. Savage has just jumped to get the revive. And so we have Savage and Gemma up top at the moment inside this building. Shots being fired at Gemma, with Gemma almost being knocked, Savage being damaged also. And the blue zone is now going to push them out. Shots being fired by Ghost and Mystic. And here we go. Our Mystic takes down Gemma. Savage is trying to heal up. And it looks as though he is now going to try and beat them at their own game by using first aid kit after first aid kit to try and outrun the zone. And I can't fault him, he's trying. Mystic is now knocked. Riot Ghost is the last team member standing, hiding behind a tree at the moment. And that is the end of game number 1. With Riot Mystic and Riot Ghost coming in first place with 9 kills. We have Death Defying Gemma and Savage in second with 3. We have Sons of Odin in third with 2. We have Jen in fourth with 1. We have EXO in 5th with no kills, unfortunately. And then we have Salty Snakes Alex and Char in 6th with 2. If you have enjoyed this stream, please follow the channel with new content added daily. We will be back in just a moment for game number 2. This is Riot Duo Scrims on Monday. I am Ab Summer, and we will be right back.